In this video, I'm going to go over 3 things that overcome inexperience. And I hear inexperience all the time as an excuse why you can't pursue your dreams, can't reach out for opportunities. But in this video, I'm going to dispel those myths for you. So the first thing that overcomes inexperience is enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is the most underrated attribute for anyone trying to get their foot in the door. Because if you are enthusiastic and you are excited to be there, people are willing to give you the world. Let me give you an example. When I was first working at Dr. Darrow's office, I was a stem cell intern trying to make a name for myself, trying to put in the work, right? So I was working hard, but I was quiet. I was in my shell. It wasn't until my 21st birthday when my parents actually brought a cake to my office where I finally opened up and became enthusiastic and actually got to know people. And that was a turning point in my whole career. Is because when you break out of your shell and you are enthusiastic and if you are being yourself, people are more willing to like you. And when people are more willing to like you, they are willing to give you opportunities you never thought you were capable of. And enthusiasm wasn't something that necessarily came easily to me. I know now it's easy. So, oh, Brett, you're an influencer. You make these videos, blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't that easy. When I was 21 years old, I wasn't as outgoing as I am now. So enthusiasm, just like everything else we're going to talk about, is something you can work on, right? So the number one skill that you need to work on right now, and this is in order, is your enthusiasm, is your excitement. Because if I have interns or students who are enthusiastic and give everything they got but are excited to be there, I'm more willing to help them in whatever they're trying to pursue. All right, so number 2 is hard work. Now, hard work is very generic, right? Everyone says work hard, but what does that even mean? Hard work means you doing the things that no one else is willing to do, or you doing the things that are needed when no one else is looking, when you're not going to get praise. And for me, when I was building up my whole research department, no one saw, and still no one knows to this day, the amount of hard work that I put every single day that no one knew about. I was in my office. I was grinding. It was very, very difficult not having any experience and then putting in the work to be able to become an expert in the field. It takes a lot of hard work. But your hard work will not be recognized to its fullest if you don't have this enthusiasm. If you don't have the enthusiasm, if you're working hard in your shell and not being outgoing and not being yourself and reaching out for help and doing all of these things, no one is going to care because no one likes a hermit. And this is where the distinction between emotional intelligence and analytical intelligence, like IQ, comes into play. If you can have a good mixture where you're enthusiastic, you're outgoing, but you're also putting in the hard work, that is the balance between emotional intelligence and IQ that you need to have. All right, and the last thing is persistence. Persistence is the last thing that you need to have. So if you get an immediate no or things aren't going to plan, you are willing to push through no matter what it takes. And persistent, again, is something generic, right? That it's easy to say, it's easy to work hard, it's easy to be persistent, but are you actually doing it? Right? I can remember, right, when I gave my first paper to review to Dr. Darrow, and he said it was a load of garbage. And it was funny, now looking back to it, it was funny, but it was my first paper. I was devastated. I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to publish, blah, blah, blah. But I worked on it. I read other research. I reached out to other researchers so I can learn the skills to be able to have a publication, right? And now, 7 publications later, a textbook chapter later, I can confidently say if it wasn't for that initial no or that initial kind of your paper's garbage, I would not be where I am today. But you guys need to remember, first step, enthusiasm. Be outgoing. That allows your hard work to be noticed. And then once you're working hard, you need to be able to push through adversity and be persistent in achieving your dreams. Just because someone says no in the beginning doesn't mean it's a definite no. So these are the 3 skills, and if you can notice, these are the 3 skills that require no talent whatsoever. It requires you to reach out of your comfort zone, each one of them, to be able to achieve your dreams.